oh yes. We heard all that applause and the clamoring for Nick Knarf, so therefore we decided to come back and do another song for you. How you doing today there, Knarf?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Nicky?
Yeah, considering it's not as hot as it normally is at this time in
it's a
Tucson.
balmy, right now it's a balmy 92 degrees, so it's not too bad.
Balmy, waiting for some monsoons, which for those of you that haven't followed the news means water, rain.
That's right. We have
lightning.
summer rains here in Tucson. We get half of our annual rainfall in the summer, and they call them the monsoons because they come up from Mexico through a tropical. They call it the monsoon trail.
Hey, with the monsoons.
And it drops about 6 inches of rain through the summer months, and it's really nice. Keeps the temperatures a lot cooler than a normal. June is usually like 110, 112 every day, but the monsoons keep them down. But
so as usual, we're going to bring you some great music today.
That's right.
We're talking about the group The Pretenders.
That's
the Pretenders
right.
who formed in London, England in 1978 when Chrissie Hynde moved from Akron, Ohio. Chrissie Hynde, not Hines. I always want to add that S. She moved from Akron, Ohio, where she had graduated high school and kind of started her career there, but didn't really amount to much, went to London and met up with Martin Chambers. These are the founding members, the drummer Martin Chambers, who, God, he's still with her, and they're really good. Peter Farndon and James Honeyman-Scott, both who died in the early 80s.
That's right. A couple of years after the band formed, we didn't look into how they died, but they died, and there have been a number of personnel changes over some 40 years of the Pretenders working it. But this first album, the Pretenders album, was a groundbreaker for them. It was released in '79. It went to #1 and went platinum in England.
Crazy.
and the U.S. too. But it reached like number 5 or 7 here in the United States. And the song we're playing from this first album, it was their first major hit. It's Brassinpocket, a really memorable, catchy song. I remember when I started listening to a lot of the new wave music coming out in the late 70s, very early 80s. This song was one of the big first new wave songs to really hit it big, along with stuff like by bands like Blondie, Missing Persons, John Cougar Mellencamp, Huey Lewis, all kinds of bands that were starting to really make it big in the late 70s. And this is a great song.
And one of the things I didn't know about Chrissie Hynde was that she plays piano, drums, harmonica, guitar, and something else. But she's pretty talented.
She's a rock and roll icon. She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2005. 2005.
Wow.
And in her home state of Ohio, in Cleveland. She used to go into Cleveland.
Jethro Tull has not been. Come on.
That's right. Correct that, Hall of Fame. We need Jethro Tull in there.
Are you kidding us? Come on. Anyway.
But they made 11 albums as the Pretenders. Plus, Chrissie has like 3 solo albums, and she's done a number of collaboration albums.
And their most recent album came out in 2020. So, I mean, they're still around.
She's still going. She's my age. She's 71.
Yeah, she'll be 71
in September. Yeah. My birthday's a couple days from now, so I'm going to hit 71. But the thing is, they've left a tremendous legacy, some great songs and memorable ones. And you're going to enjoy Brassinpocket, their first single. That's awesome. But before we hit it, I want to remind you to please subscribe, like, and share if you haven't. We'd love to have you be a part of the tribe.
Hit that notification bell so you know that every time.
If you like the video, hit that like icon. It helps us spread the word because we care for your ears.
Let us know. We love comments.
And if you have subscribed, we thank you so much. And really, leave us comments. We'd love to hear them. So if you're ready, Nicky, I'm ready to hit it.
But before we even get started, she's got like a really monotone voice. I mean, she doesn't have great range, but there's something so attractive about it.
It's a very sexy, sultry kind of voice she has, and she could be raw and badass and sassy and sexy. She's really a unique performer and really one of the icons of new wave rock and roll.
She is, yeah.
And we're so glad to be bringing this one to you. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is The Pretenders from the first album, The Pretenders, and the song Brassinpocket. Here we go.
Got brass in pocket.
Sassy.
Gunpowder, I'm gonna use it. Intention, I'm feeling mental. Gonna make you notice. Got motion, restrained emotion. I've been diving, detour leaning, no reason. no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. I got rhythm, I can't miss a beat. I got new skank, sorry. I got something I'm winking at you. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms, gonna use my legs, gonna use my style, gonna use my side step, gonna use my fingers, gonna use my imagination. Oh, 'cause I gonna make you see there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me, 'cause I gonna make you see there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. And when you walk,
I mean, is that the simplest damn song you ever heard? And it's so good.
That's what I was going to say. It is really minimal in its structure and the way the thing goes, but just the quality of her voice and the way she sings the song really adds so many things. And there are a few layers of things going on underneath to make it interesting. But look, there's no lead solo, no guitar solo in the song. It's really simple and basic, has only a couple of changes in it, but it seems like a richer, more complex song.
And that to me is a signature of the 80s music. That
Yes.
it became very attractive tonally, if that's a word.
Yep.
The tone was attractive because it was boom, 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 boom. You know, whether it was Devo or any other groups like that, Eurythmics. That was one group I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
I really liked them a lot. But simple, but so catchy.
Oh, it was really, really tasty. And again, New Wave was a reaction to disco and all kinds of other
That's
stuff that
really
was really
true,
big.
yes.
So there was this movement toward minimalism, toward cutting down a lot of excess in songs and getting raw and pure and focused with a sound and a style. And then obviously later Pretender stuff is a lot more layered, better produced albums. But again, it's kind of this innocent, raw alternative to the kind of production quality music that was produced in a lot of the 70s.
Would you put the Cars kind of in that category?
Well, of course, the Cars were a new age band. They were out around the same time, 78, 79.
Right. I mean, but are they in the same category? Or are they a level above? Who's above?
Well, I don't know what you mean by above.
Well,
I mean,
who would you say would? I mean, if they were having a concert at the same time, where'd people want to go?
Don't ask me. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see them both. I think they'd be great. But again, you're right. The Cars is a good comparison. The Cars is a very good comparison because it had that very stark 4-member band, 5-member band, not a lot of excess. Albums weren't overly produced. It had not a garage quality, but it had a kind of a very stark, again, minimal is the word. And that's the way a lot of them started. Again, that was the starting point for a lot of alternative bands. Then, as they got more popular and as they had more budget to work with for their albums, clearly you start hearing, if you listen to the later Pretenders, like My City Was Gone and, some of the other stuff, what's the other one? 2,000 Miles, that Christmas song that they do, and a few other ones off the later albums. It sounds much differently produced, but this was the trademark of new wave music. It was like that.
We told you what we think. Now we want to know, what do you think? I mean, were they influential in your music listening? Were your friends listening to them? Did you go see them in concert? Is this something you would play for, ad nauseum for a couple of weeks when they first came out? You know what I mean? so many times you get an album and you just keep playing them over and over because you
Well,
really
this was
like
a big
it.
album. Don't forget that. It was #1 in Britain for a month, and it went platinum. So people
What was
were
it
buying
here?
this album.
6 in the U.S.?
Oh, I forget what it was
16,
in the U.S.
I think it was. 16.
Yeah, it wasn't
Still,
quite as high, but it was
16
big.
in the U.S. I mean, the population at that time was probably, 285 million people. So, I mean, that's a lot of people buying records.
Now, they made a big impact. They cut through a lot of the stuff, and they made their mark, and they just got better and stronger, and Chrissie Hynde's talent kept growing and being exposed, and she was just an amazing performer on the stage, too. Whenever you see anytime her music videos or see any live concerts, she just stands out and commands attention. She just really stands. She knows how to perform.
Now, one
She's
thing
great.
I did read that kind of ticked me off, she said that she became a vegan, and she opened a vegan restaurant right around maybe the 2000s, 2005, and she grew to have disdain for, people that were meat eaters, even though she ate meat for 40 years. Oh, yeah, get your fill and then go with vegetarian.
Well, don't forget, Paul McCartney became a vegetarian, too, for a while.
I know.
So,
He actually
and
did.
we're not trying to disparage vegans
No, not
or
at
anything.
all.
It's just that
I like vegan food. I serve it. As a matter of fact.
it's when you make a change that dramatic, sometimes I know it's a change of conviction when you make a convicted change like that.
Yeah.
But don't hate us poor carnivores.
Just 'cause we like meat,
Actually, we're not just carnivores. We're omnivores. We eat everything. We eat veggies. We eat greens.
We eat music.
meat,
We eat
and
those notes, and we take them in and we swallow them, and we just
and
put out
vomit them
music.
back out to you so your ears can be filled.
Nick
with
and
beauty.
Barf.
Nick and Barf and Narf.
Hey, you guys. Hope
Eddie.
you liked it. Leave us a comment. Can't wait to see you again next time.
That's right. Thanks for being here for another episode of Nick,
Nick and Barf signing out.
We're signing off. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Goodbye, guys. Okay. Ready?
I got to heave.
All right. Bye.
Bye.